Le Castellet in the south of France. It was the setting for the 7th round of the World Series by Renault 2011. For the occasion, once again, the sure values of Renault were spotlighted. I want to highlight a point I find fundamental in the role of Renault through its dealers, which is the quality of the technical teams and the quality of the sports training. The Renault dealers have always noted, and especially today, can see that we know how to integrate sport, that sporting values are always respected. And I'm very happy to know that through our network and the World Series, we prepare the Formula One drivers of tomorrow within a framework that gives them the right values and references. I think Renault should be proud of the quality of this kind of supervision. We're going to continue on the quality of the series and themselves while bringing an increasing amount of technology into the series. Last year we had more than 400,000 spectators throughout the year. Of course we're going to follow this with a great deal of attention so that the number of spectators heads for a crescendo, which would be the translation of our good understanding of their demands. Number of spectators is voluntarily limited at Paul Ricard to a minimum of 60,000 visitors on the weekend. Not bad for a first time.
I
think it's good to regularly change place and tour around France because for the merchants that we are, it allows us to animate our network and then to be able to show Renault's know-how to the greater public in terms of motorsport, to show the entire range and new models, and to talk about electric vehicle. It's good to regularly change place after Le Mans and Magny-Cours, to be able to come to the south. This allows us notably to bring new animation to our Marseille regional division. Of course, the public comes firstly for the motorsport and all the activities. The races take place over the weekend, but of course it's a golden occasion for us to be able to show the richness of our range and our know-how. Of course there are exhibitions of Renault sports cars, and we spotlight the electric car because we're arriving at the point of commercialization and we're going to get into more concrete marketing. We also presented the Clio Phase 2, and it's the first time we're showing it to the greater public. And of course, as it's the Rugby World Cup time, we've put in place a series of animations about rugby. It comes at a good time because our dealers had open days on the same weekend as the World Series by Renault, and the theme of the open days is rugby, the participation between Renault's French sales management with the French Rugby Federation and the French 15. There's Renault, but also Dacia. There's an exhibition of Dacia, and we've also made a four-wheel drive track to show all the qualities of the Duster. And on the first day, we had more than 1,000 test drives for the Duster, well beyond what we'd hoped. So it's an opportunity to show this to our customers. And of course, as we're on the subject of motorsport and Renault, we think about Formula One and we think about Alain Prost, who was present with his son. And it's a really good way to attract the public because they're still very prominent. The success of Alain Prost in Formula One remains in everyone's memories, and so it's a very nice opportunity. When we see all these people here with the nostalgia of what's happened in the past, 28 years, that's incredible. I don't know why, it's the first car I remember. I remember this one specifically, car number 83, because looking back I must have seen it when I was 2 or 3 years old. It's really a car that made an impression on me. After there were others, but this one's surely the Renault epoch that marked me the most, so it's really something special to see it. And last week we went looking around and found the helmet and overalls. It's great to be able to do this. The fact of being able to do this with my son is also one of the reasons that pushed me to do it, because I find that it's an extremely strong symbol. I'm very lucky. Yes, I'd say I'm very lucky. I've had a lot of luck in my career, but this type of event is also a chance to have pleasure and to retrace a whole career, memories, and above all, to share with the public, as we see, has not forgotten this magnificent period. Also magnificent, the field for the Eurocup Clio that we find at Le Castellet, with a title to be won. Nicolas Milan, the favourite, best classified in the championship, didn't shine so brightly on home territory on the Saturday, because it's an Italian, Massimiliano Pedala, who wins. The next day, Milan, however, doesn't give anything away to the Italian and launches out into the lead, never to lose that place again until the finish. Behind him, the Italians dispute the honours, Pedala again, and Simone De Luca, who take the second and third steps on the podium. For Nicolas Milan, it's the grand title, opening the doors for him to the Eurocup Mégane Trophy in 2012. And speaking of that category, the man of the moment, already champion Stefano Comini, was not able to add another victory to his already impressive list in the first race. beaten by the Dutch driver Bas Schothorst, and for one time caught up in the tumult of the always turbulent pack in the Mégane class. Schothorst takes it easily from Greg Wilbert and Fabien Tuneur. Comini is fourth, with, to his credit, the fastest lap in the race. But he hasn't yet had his last word. The next day he's back in the battle for victory. This time a new duel breaks out with an unusual contender, Gregory Gilbert. And yet again the Oregon driver takes the checkered flag ahead of Gilbert and Schothorst. David Dermont takes the trophy for the best gentleman driver of the 2011 season. In Formula Renault 2.0, the starts are often very busy and are the stage of some spectacular tangles. It was the case again here at Paul Ricard, where the stakes exacerbated the appetite of the young wolves. It's the French rookie Paul Ricard who adds a victory to his superb pole position and thus opens his prize table in the Euro Cup. On the Sunday, it's Carlos Sainz Jr. and Robin Freins that we find battling for the title. Even if the Dutchman has a certain advantage, the young Spaniard doesn't leave it there. But Freins is solid, and it's finally he who'll take the victory and also the championship. 2 races before the end of the season. His lead on the championship table is now impossible to beat, but Carlos Sainz Jr. will certainly be working to make his mark on the next round in Spain. In Formula Renault 3.5, Wickens, who dominated at Silverstone, gave way at the top of the classification to the French driver Jean-Éric Vergne, who didn't leave anything to chance this weekend. He knew it was double or nothing. Costa, Ricciardo and Rossi animate the pack, but it's the Carlin Red Bull driver who dominates this first race. 24 hours later, the scenario's quite different, even though the essential remains for the Frenchman. Firstly, a neck-and-neck battle with the American Alexander Rossi, and he keeps clear of the frequent bingles in the pack. This race, with compulsory tyre change, keeps the suspense going right till the end. With Wickens neck and neck, it's Ricciardo who resists, and Vergne in battle for second place, giving nothing away. Rossi, Ricciardo, Vergne for the final podium. And a title that'll be played off in Spain between the 2 Carlin drivers. We'll be there on the 8th and 9th of October on the Catalunya circuit for the revealing episode of the World Series by Renault 2011.